Based on your life, whatever you've done in life, whatever you've accomplished, whatever relationships you've got, whatever, which car would you be based on how you've handled stuff? Are you gonna be a mid-range sedan? Or are you gonna be a luxury sedan? Or are you gonna be a sporty hatchback? Or are you gonna be a supercar? Or are you gonna be a hypercar? What are you? I'm giving you a perspective which I have, you know, the way I thought about it initially, which kind of gave me an idea about how I've been spending my life and how I want to spend my life, like the difference. What are you right now? Just be frank with yourself. I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm not putting anyone on the spot because, to be honest, you don't know me and I don't know you. All right? It is what it is. This sounds so vague at this point. I know. If I was listening to this video, I'd be like, what's bro saying? But this is going to make sense in a bit. What car do you want to be? Do you want to be a supercar or a hypercar or a luxury sedan? Whichever car you want to drive in life, which is like your, I'd say, a dream car. Which car is that? And now think about your situation. The way you are spending your life, the way you're stressing about something, the way you're overthinking about a relationship or whatever. This, like most of my videos are based on recovering from breakup in a proper way, in a leveraged way. Let's think about it from that perspective itself, all right? Let's keep it to that point. If you've been struggling to overcome whatever feeling you've got right now after a breakup, that sense of pain, I'd say. If you want to get over it, what would that version of you, of that car, would do? What would that version of your dream car would do? What would his thinking pattern be like? What would his decisions be like at this point in time in life? If you are going through a breakup right now, or you've any kind of pain in life, any kind of pain, you lost somebody who you loved, you lost somebody who was super close to you, or it's something like that. If you do something which gives you leverage in life to not just overcome that situation, but to excel in life in a way which you always wanted to do, think about how your life is going to be. I'm not trying to be a motivational speaker here or whoever who's going to give you some vague advice on being motivated and then that's it. No, I'm not going to be that guy. I believe in having a strategic approach. And the foundational part of being strategic is to have a proper perspective of who you are. If you've been making mediocre decisions, just accept it. Don't be like, oh no, that was the best decision at that time. No. If you feel right now that you could have done something better, a better decision, you did not do your best there. And it's fine. Let's accept it. I haven't made best decisions all the time. I've made a ton of mistakes. A ton. And it's fine. I accept it. The only thing we could do now, we can't go back and, recorrect that. There is no option to do that. If there was one, I want to do that. People would want to do that. You want to do that. But we can't. All we can do is just learn from that. Right now, whatever decisions you've made, which you kind of feel like are mediocre, accept it. Don't deny it. Accept it. But the interesting point here is that you learn from that. As I was saying with the cars, the car you've been and the car you want to be in life, defer your decisions based on that. And just, this sounds simple. This sounds like I'm saying some dramatic stuff. Like I've said in multiple videos, I wouldn't tell you anything which I haven't done or I wouldn't do. This is what I thought about. This is how my perspective was when situations weren't kind of in my favor. The image you have of yourself when you make any kind of decision, it matters a lot. Because if you think about yourself as a mediocre person, your decisions are going to be mediocre. If you think about yourself like your ideal form, your decisions are going to be at that level, at that echelon. We need that. You need that. Everybody needs that. So the simplest way, which I'd say could shift the way you think, is for us men, cars is the greatest example that we could use. The car you are right now or you've been and the car you want to be or you are right now. The difference the decision making. Everything in life should be based on that dream car of yours. Once you start doing this, trust me, life changes. Trust me, this comes from the bottom of my heart because I want to help you. I don't want anybody watching this to be wasting time in their lives. Because, my friend, listen, we just live once. And we don't want to be, sure, making mistakes is fine. But we don't want to be making mistakes and recovering from that for a long enough time frame. And before we know, life's done. We don't need that. We want to spend life in our optimal state, for which you have to understand this. From now on, from this very second, don't take decisions or don't have a perspective which that version of yours wouldn't have. Think this is, I'd say, the easiest plus the most leveraged way you could head in life.